Hey everyone, it's Yvonne here. Welcome to our Mornings with Mayesh today. I have a whole bunch of guests for you guys today. Super excited. I have here with me Terry Speight, the author of Bloom Imprint's new book, Black Flora, along with three of their featured designers. I have Kiara Hancock, Isha Foss, and Gina Lett Shrewsberry. Super excited. They're joining me, and we're going to be diving into the book, Black Flora, which showcases the excellence and contributions of Black flower farmers and floral designers throughout the country. Terry writes in her introduction for the book, younger generations of Black plant lovers are seeking inspiring examples of successful floral artists and entrepreneurs when they see their potential through representation of people who look like them in farming and floristry. The possibilities of the future enable their dreams. I love it. I think that's a great way to start the show. And make sure you guys grab your own copy of the book, either before or after. I'm going to go ahead and put the link for the book in the comment section. By the way, speaking of comments, make sure you put any questions, comments, say good morning. Let us know where you are watching from or listening from. I love it. And I want to make sure that you guys are participating and engaging, especially today, because 2 lucky winners will be selected after the live to get a free copy of Black Flora. So super, super exciting. Allison Ellis is here. She says, good morning. She ordered her copy. Cannot wait to listen today. Hi, Allison. How are you? Before we get started, and we do have a packed show, I just wanted to give a little reminder to everyone that we are celebrating 10 years of Mayesh Design Star. Yep, I'm that old because we started that shortly after I came on board with Mayesh, and really exciting. So we are going to take all of our design stars and put them up in a March Madness bracket style competition. They all got their flowers already, guys. They're already designing. We've already started to get all the photos in from the designs that they made. And so we're going to put all of that up and do kind of a competition bracket style voting. And we're going to have a winner at the end of it. So it's just a lot of fun. We want to celebrate. We want to get everyone participating. And so this is what we're going to do. So make sure you check that out. Again, I'm going to go ahead and put the link for that in our comments. That way you can check it out after the show, of course. And we're going to get started. I see a bunch of people in. Oh, we even have someone from London, it looks like. We got Pennsylvania representing. Awesome. I love it. We have Deborah Prinzing here. She's part of Bloom Imprint. So glad to have her in the audience as well. So let me bring on my ladies, guys, and we're going to get started. All right. Welcome, everyone. How are you?
Doing good.
I love it. I love it. So I have 3 of you right now. We have another guest. She's kind of on her way. Things in life just don't happen exactly as planned. So I'm going to give Gina a little bit more time to join us. But I have Terry, Kiara, and Isha here with me. So before we get started, let's start with Terry. And can you just introduce yourself a bit and share just a smidge about you and your business?
Sure. My formal name is Teresa Johanna Speight, but I go by Terry. My dad would want me to say that, trust me. My business is Cottage in the Court. I'm a garden writer, member of GardenCom International. I blog about anything I feel like, depending on what's going on in my garden. And I'm beginning to focus more on my cultural history and those that are a part of it, because we are important and we do matter. I also do small group travel to gardens that many in my community have never been to. Not sure why, but I'm going to change that trajectory of travel. And just sharing about all things beautiful that surround us. That is what I do. I also have a podcast. So I'm just in this floral moment in my life, and I couldn't be happier.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Terry. All right, Kiara, how about you? Tell us a little bit about
Hi,
yourself.
I'm Kiara Hancock. I own K Hancock Events based in the Seattle area. I've been doing floral design for about 5 years now. I predominantly work in weddings. I like to say that I work in medium weddings, so like small to medium weddings. The big weddings I love, but they're not exactly my jam all the time. I just got a new studio space up here in Washington. I'm really excited about. It's the first time I've had my own space. I'm moving out of my garage, which I was telling everybody before this is really good for my own personal life, my business, but as well as my marriage. My husband is very excited about that.
I bet. Absolutely. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Awesome. And Aisha, welcome.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Isha Foss. I'm based in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I have been doing floral design for 15 years. I've been in business for 20. I started as a wedding planner, so I have much respect and understanding for planners and all that it takes, all sides of the weddings. But during the pandemic, I picked up retail. So now I do online retail. I am also on Uber Eats, soon to be on DoorDash. So just trying to do all the things. And then of course, my wedding business has led me to do things for my customers' homes. So I am dabbling, more than dabbling, in interiors as well.
Awesome. Welcome, welcome, all of you guys. So excited about this. And Terry, we're going to get started with you. Obviously, we're here today to talk about your new book, Black Flora. Can you tell us more about the book and what inspired its creation?
Well, you know, African Americans in horticulture, we do so many different things, and people really oftentimes do not know. So, to focus on Black flower farmers, Black floral designers, wedding planners, and more, it just gave me an opportunity to really elevate our presence and to show that, we might think a little off the cuff, so to speak. We might try something that others may not try. And the experiences that we've shared comes through in our work. So writing a book like this gave me that opportunity to do that and more.
I love it. I love it. I have Gina here too. Can I bring her on real quick? Because it looks like she's all set up, and that way we can do a little intro with her as well. Give me 1 second. And it looks like Terry might be a little bit frozen. So hopefully that will be fixed by the time we get back to her. Hey, Gina, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
I am good. Welcome. I'm glad that you arrived safely.
Yes,
And do you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself real quick?
yes. My name is Gina Lett Shrewsberry, and I am the owner and lead designer and event stylist for Inspiration by Gina. We're located in Sacramento, California, the state capital of the fifth largest economy in the world, but over California. And Yvonne, thank you so much for having me on the show today.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. And I'm going to bring Terry back. There you are. Yeah, you got stuck a little bit there.
I did.
And we talked about this. We knew that this might happen because you're, very close to the Capitol. And they get
Yes.
presidents over
A little
internet.
bit of activity going on there today. But yeah, I just really, the opportunity to share the voice of the African American in this industry was so meaningful to me and to everyone else because my purpose was to uplift the voice and represent and show our representation in the industry.
Yes, absolutely. So very important. Um, I want to start, honestly, they say don't judge a book by its cover. And I don't know if any of you guys have the book by you. I don't have, I know it's not in print yet, so I'm not that lucky. Oh, here, so you guys can see the cover here. Check
Yes.
out what Aisha is sharing. It's a beautiful cover. And so I think we should judge this book by the cover, and it is stunning. So I love the bright colors with the black background. It just really pops. Can you share more about the cover, the who, what, whys, and all of that, Terry?
Well, that cover is Nicole Cordier, who is a delightful person. I had the best time just chatting with her. She is in Hawaii. And that cover was inspired by Francois Weeks. So Nicole kind of chose from the diverse selection of flora that's on her property. She's on 2 acres in Hawaii. And I don't think anyone could have done it better.
It's amazing, and I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Is there any reason why you decided to choose that image over all the other ones that you had to choose from? Did it just really pop for you?
I think it was a collective choice by all, but when I saw this one, it really truly made my heart melt, and I know I cried. So
Oh, I love it.
it's beautiful.
Yes. I love people that will just let their emotions show because, I've cried a few tears just on this show alone. So, if we want to cry, that's all good. I'm good with that, just so you guys know. I love it. So many people are here today. Someone says we have celebs in the audience today. I'm not sure. I see a whole lot of people, and I love it. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. So my next question for you, Terry, is we have 3 of the 25 featured Black Flora personalities here with us today, other than yourself. How did you select who would be included in your book?
Well, some of the members that were chosen are members of the Slow Flower Society, and others are friends of the Flower Society. So we had to pick from a diverse selection. It was hard, but we came up with 25 of a group of people that would really show the diversity and the inclusivity of all of us.
Right, right. And, I know you're obviously a flower farmer designer. Everyone else that's here with us today are floral designers, but it's not just florists, right, that are in the book. It's a bunch of other different kinds of people.
Yes, our flower farmers. And I love our flower farmers so much so, when I reinvent myself, because I'm not retiring, when I reinvent myself, I am going to really focus on my floral farm, because when we hear
Oh, I lost her. Washington, D.C. Come on, guys. All their fault. Let's give her a second. Here she is.
Going through.
okay, so
You're back.
when we think about floral farmers, and I hear so many designers speak about going to the wholesaler. Well, there are local flower farmers everywhere, and a lot of them just happen to be African American, and they might grow or offer something that others may not. So we should be supportive of them. And I mean, even down to specialty flower farmers that offer subscriptions just for a season. We run the whole length of what's offered, but no one seems to know. So here's our chance to rise and shine.
Yes, here's our chance. And speaking of rising and shining, how does it feel for you to have a book that you can call your own and that highlights all of your hard work along with so many other talented African Americans?
It's an honor, honestly. I do a lot of florals for my office, and I do custom arrangements for small events. And it's an honor to know that I have written something that prayerfully will inspire the next generation that may not want to be a full-fledged event designer, but they can be a flower farmer. They can provide the resources for someone else that aspires to be the big designer, or whatever. I I feel like I'm giving my young people a gift.
Absolutely. I love it. Before I bring on Kiara and start asking her a few questions, I wanted for you to just take a second. I know you mentioned your podcast, and who knows, we might have some budding flower farmers here listening today, or maybe to the replay down the road. So you want to take a minute and talk about that?
Well, my podcast focuses on people who are behind the floral industry. We can turn on podcasts and listen to someone speak about trees or speak about something very detailed. But there's a person behind that. It's more than just a tree, shrub, flower, or bush. It's more than just a bouquet. So all of the people in the book, I will have them on the podcast throughout the year because we'll be Black next month too. And I
Yeah,
want them to showcase what they do as they do it because it's important. And I'm going to
absolutely.
bring on new ones as well. So the podcast is about to get lit.
I love it. Guys, make sure you check out the podcast. Yes, and you guys will be Black next month as well. It's not just about Black History Month. I love that. And so guys, make sure you check out Terry's podcast. All right. The link is in the comments, and then of course it will be up on my show notes. Before I move on, Terry, is there anything else that you wanted to share with us?
I love the culture. I love what we're doing. And I really hope that I inspire or will inspire or have inspired somebody that's on the fence about what they can do with their lives. Flowers are healing, flowers are powerful, flowers are meaningful, and flowers can be used for just about anything. So come on into the flower farming family, the Black Flora family. We're waiting for you.
I love it. Thank you. All right. Well, we're going to all come back. And I'm sure, like I said, if you guys have questions for people, go ahead and put those in the comments. I just saw someone just say, how can I purchase the book? That's on Instagram, guys. And I put the link on Facebook and YouTube, but I will have my team put the link on Instagram in the comments as well. You can find it up on our blog, but the link also is, I don't have the link in front of me, but if you go to Bloom Imprint, it's imprint.com/shop, you can grab your copy there. Also, just a friendly reminder, the more engaging you are, the better chances you are to win a free copy today, which I will message 2 lucky winners after the show. All right, guys, let's move on. Hi, Kiara. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I am good. Thank you. Thank you. It's always crazy when I have this many people, but it's always exciting and fun.
I know. You're doing well.
Thank you. Thanks. All right. So you have been in the spotlight before as part of HBO Max's Full Bloom.
Yes.
But being a part of Black Flora is different because it focuses on Black floral talent. How does it feel for you to be a part of this book?
It feels great. I think like the last 2 years and the state of affairs that we've been in this country have taught myself a lot. And I know it's taught a lot of people things. It's taught me about how to slow down, but it's also taught me about seeking purpose in my life. And so I feel like this is really connected to that. So it almost feels like a coming home.
Yes, I love that. And I actually got chills because I think just finding purpose is so important, and everything has been bananas. I feel like the last few years, and
I know we didn't even know that we were operating like without purpose. Sometimes I had no idea until I was forced to slow down and like think about what was really important to me as a person, as a mother, as a wife, as a Black person, a Black woman in this world. Like I've learned a lot in the last 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely. In the book, you talk about your piece that you designed called Breakout for Full Bloom. I know that had a lot of meaning to you, so I was hoping that you could share more about that with us.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity to. I didn't really get to share a lot on the show about it. So I always love to talk about it because it was I thought it through. I'm from a place called Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I think a lot of times people think of Milwaukee as like cows, or Wisconsin as cows and cheese and that sort of thing. But I'm from the inner city. That's where I'm from. That's where all my family still resides. Milwaukee was one of the first places to declare racism a public health crisis. It's a whole thing in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I wanted to make a piece that kind of represented that and who I am now, because I think I have a lot of joy in life that I express. So I took 2 concrete pillars, just like the pillars that you put arrangements on top of, and I broke out an entire side, which was kind of scary. It was like I paid all this money for these pillars and I took a hammer to them. But I wanted it to represent kind of the concrete jungle that I come from and where I come from. And I put bold, bright flowers coming out of that hole inside, that jagged hole. And I wanted that to represent like the people who really just need to see themselves in someone like me, see the light of what they can do and really be exposed to really move on in their life and know who they can be too.
Right. Yeah. It's beautiful. I hope you guys check that out.
I have a little picture. You can't see it. It's on my Instagram.
It's on your Instagram, and it's in the book, right? If I remember correctly.
It's in the book. Yeah.
Yes, it's in the book, guys. So make sure that you check it out. I definitely wanted to hear the story about that, because it was like a little blurb in the book, and just like we said, you didn't really get a chance to talk about it in detail.
I know, TV is weird.
Yeah, TV is weird. Yes, it is indeed. I love that. I love the concept, and the design is beautiful, and it's just very inspiring. Okay, so I like just stalked all of you guys really the last couple of days. And so I was on your website and I saw information about Good by Kay Hancock. I love what you had there. And I was, again, hoping that you could share more with us about what Good is and why you incorporated it into your business strategy.
I would love to. It's just something that I've been mulling over this last year, especially. I feel like what we do delivers a lot of joy, but I think there's a way to offer like more doing good in the world as well through flowers. So really what I decided was, and it's again, living that purposeful life and like knowing what's important and knowing where you want to go in life. I decided that every wedding package that I book, I would donate $500 to one of 3 organizations. I think that I'll probably switch the organizations throughout time, but right now, one of those organizations is the Loveland Foundation. And if you don't know about that foundation, it's great. It really is focused on Black women. I'm a Black woman. It's hard to be a Black woman in this world. We're expected to carry a lot of burden and while also giving a lot of joy. So it's hard. So this foundation really focuses on therapy specifically for Black women. So I love that. I also do a local charity here called Samaritan, which is about helping the homeless population, especially in my home state of Washington. And then there's a third organization called Hope Sparks, which deals with helping families and making sure that they have the resources to help their kids. I use that organization myself. I have 2 small children, and sometimes you need a little guidance about what to do and where to go. And I found that it was really helpful to me, and I know that it can help so many more people. So it's really about fostering good and doing good within my own community that I'm a part of, and hoping that people like take notice of these other organizations that they maybe never knew about as well.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. And honestly, I hope, that is also a takeaway that many of our viewers and listeners can kind of, internalize and think about how they can incorporate that into their own business. Because I love that.
It's great. It's great. I love that people have taken to it and people have made donations outside of booking with me. So, yeah.
Awesome. So I have a question here, and it isn't for you specifically, so anyone can kind of chime in. But where did it go? Because there's a lot of comments on here. So I have a question. It says, it's from a YouTube. Is there an organization that we could join that represents Black Flora? Do you guys know of anything?
Well, there's a
Black Florist. Go on, Gina.
Oh no, you were going to go ahead. Go ahead, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Black Girl Florist. Black Girl Florist is an organization, and more to come.
Okay, that sounds good. Black Girl Florist, and yeah, I see other people sharing that information as well here for everyone. So awesome. Thank you, my audience, for helping answer that question as well. Thank you, Terry. All right. So Kiara, thank you so much for sharing that. We're gonna move on to Isha. Hey there.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thank you
So
for having me.
yeah, thanks for coming on. And this is, like I said, this is so much fun. I love having a big group. It makes it very interesting and just sharing of ideas and thoughts and feelings. And I love that. And thinking of thoughts and feelings, how does it feel to finally say, world, here I am in this book?
Well, it feels wonderful. And I will have to say that I have been in the industry a long time and I felt successful in the fact that, I get to do a lot of the things that I want to do. And my company has been profitable for a long time. And I was okay with the fact that no one had ever heard of me. I was like, don't need it. I'm good. But at the same time, and the pandemic was a catalyst, I was just like, I'm not waiting for anything anymore. After being put on hold, where I thought about, maybe my business wouldn't continue, then, what would I want to do? And I decided there was nothing else that I wanted to do. And I was going to embrace this fully. And, I can fight it, but in today's social media world, you have to like show up. And so that's what I decided to do, to put my face out here more, put my voice out here more, and just really just go for this whole floristry thing. And so having the book to kind of just lend some credibility and to put some focus on what we've all been doing for a long time, we've been here. And so it's nice to have this book just say, here you go. Here we are.
Yes. I love it. I love it. So can you tell us more about your journey that has brought you to this moment? I've read in the book that you started an IT. So I always love kind of those stories where you're starting in something totally unrelated to flowers or plants even.
Yeah, so I'm from Detroit and I worked for EDS, Ross Perotto Company, on a General Motors account. So I was just going along that path, moving around. And then I got transferred here to Virginia and I met my husband. And at that time, I was more of an IT project manager by that time. So like a new building goes up, I'm kind of planning out the infrastructure, the hardware, the connectivity and things like that. So, then I got married. My husband thought I did a great job. I was at that time almost 40, wanted to have a baby and, kind of felt the clock ticking. So I was just like, I'm going to jump out here and do something new. And my husband was like, well, you planned our wedding so great and you're project manager, you should be a wedding planner. And I was like, sounds good. And so I did that. Totally. I enjoyed that, but it took a lot of time away from my family, actually, working with brides when they're done working in the evening and then working on the weekends. And so for the sake of my marriage, I just kind of started to look at the other parts of what I was doing. I was already picking out specialty linens and, my company was doing draping and things like that. So the flowers was the next piece. And I did it also for the control. I wanted to control the whole look of the event. And at that time, I don't think there were many, because that was almost 20 years ago. So I didn't have a lot of designers to look up to, but I hired a coach. And I have to tell you, if you're looking to do anything in your business or grow your business, get counsel from, your peers or a paid person. So it's been an evolution for me, just talking to other people, seeing where the need was, talking to my customers about what they valued in my services. It has kind of defined my business and my direction.
Right. I can only imagine, but I love the story. I think it's always important to share, especially those kind of stories. And also, you didn't start being a florist when you were younger. It was a kind of later, in your life where you decided to make that change. And I always listen to Gary Vee. I don't know if you guys know who he is.
I love him.
Right. And he talks a lot about that, how when you're, in your 40s or 50s, it's not like the end of your life. Like, it's a perfect time if you want to make that change, and you just need to be happy doing what you're doing. It's such a big part of your life, and you have to have passion and just be happy. So just do it and don't wait any longer. Yeah.
It's never too late. And, I look at like Sylvia Weinstock started her business when she was 50.
Right.
And we look at all the success she was able to achieve. So I don't think about my age. I don't think about the limitations. I just think about what I want to do. And again, what people say they value, I kind of just go more in that direction.
Very good. So I have a question from Penny. She wants to know, with an IT background, was it hard to plug into the social media marketing area? Any helpful hints that you might have?
It is difficult because, I'm really an introvert, and I don't want to be out here. Look at me, look at this great thing I did. It's just like, okay, here's the thing I did. Do you like it or do you not like it? If you don't like it, this isn't for you. Like, look away. So trying to, but I've come to accept, I think, the fact that this is my point of view. And so I'm just going to be that. I'm going to be authentic even when it's unpopular. So.
Very good. I mean, that makes sense. And yeah, you just need to, I think, being authentic and just being transparent and just being yourself and not trying to kind of replicate what else is out there. Just being true to who you are inside, I think, is really important, just in long-term longevity of your business and your brand.
Yeah.
It's good. So again, while I was stalking you guys, I read about your internship program. Can you share with us more about the program and why you started it?
Yeah, so I heard a sermon many years ago, and it stuck with me. And I think, people are given a vision for themselves and for the community. So I wanted to be able to give people an opportunity to do this and not have to go out there and struggle and start your own business, because everybody's not meant to be a business owner. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to work in a field that you love. So I wanted a business that was able to do that. So I have a couple versions of internships. There's for college credit. And I work with several of the universities. There's like a system you can sign up for, Handshake, that lets you tap into the universities for a talent pool. And so that is for school credit. It has to go through the university, but when they work on event days, they are paid. I don't believe in getting value without paying people. And then the other internship is for kind of the semi-professional. If you are, out of school, but you think you want to switch to this, then that internship is unpaid for the learning time. And then it is paid for event days. And then there's one-on-one mentorship, which is a completely paid opportunity where we focus on specific areas of your business or mechanics or different things that you want to learn.
Very good. I think that's amazing. So when I also feel like this would be a really cool thing for other floors to do, because I don't really hear about people talking about internships and working with universities and things like that. So when you're working with a university, do you have to have kind of a structure in place, or do you have a structure in place this is what we're going to learn? This is what, how does that all work? Because I'm curious.
I do, because you can come in on several areas. You can, so if you wanted to do social media, you could. I mean, I'd love to have that intern, but haven't found that one yet. But, there's a lot of inventory and prep and, scheduling our vehicles and all of that. So sometimes people come in from the organization or planning side. And then sometimes people come in with a hospitality background, because they want to use, they want to have an understanding of events all around. But every single person, you have to learn how to make a boutonniere, a corsage, you have to learn how to wire, you have to wash some buckets, and you will there are certain items from events that you do that will carry with you into a portfolio. Like you may have to just design a seating display or a dessert display or something, so you can have something that you own and that you can put into a portfolio.
Very good. I love it, guys. So who here is going to be working with interns now going forward? They're all raising their hand. Allison had a good comment here I wanted to share. She said, totally agree about paying your people. Thanks for saying that out loud. So I like that too, because event days are crazy. I've done my share of wedding work before back in the day. And yeah, it's hard. It's hard work. That's for sure.
It is.
Very good. Anything else you want to share before we move on to Gina?
Nope. Like I said, just, get coaching, get outside yourself. Don't be alone in this. You don't have to be alone in this.
Yeah. Oh, a follow-up question to that then. If you wanted to get a coach or a mentor, how do you do that?
Well, I attend conferences. So I met my coach at an Engage conference like back in 2008 when Engage first started. And my coach was Sean Lowe. He had been the vice president for Preston Bailey Designs. And when he spoke, I knew he was the truth. And so I approached him about coaching me, and he wasn't even doing coaching at that time. And then 6 months later, he came out with it. And, I paid him a great amount of money that made the greatest change in my business. I just cannot say enough about, but other people have tried that person for coaching and they're just like, okay, he talks too fast, but I talk fast. And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. So we were perfect. So, find the person who really, vet the person, because everybody's a coach now. So I would say do that, but like attend conferences and listen to people speak and look at their work and see the fruit. If their work is bearing fruit, then see if they will spend some time. And some people will do it for free. Some people have programs. There's a lot out there.
Right. Very good. Thank you for sharing that. I think that's really great and really useful information. And honestly, probably like good information, whether you're starting or even if you've been doing it for a while. I think it just having a coach or a mentor, someone that you can like talk about your ideas with and learn from each other, I think would be really great. And you probably could do that, like just kind of creating a group too of people that you feel like you connect with and like in a more informal situation, if you're not quite sure if like the whole mentor mentee thing is for you per se. So I think that's really great. Thank you.
And I'm a member of the Chapel Designers, and we mentor one another. We're all business owners. So we, we're all going through a similar thing. We're pretty transparent with one another. So, but there's a lot of organizations. I'm not pushing any one person or thing.
Very good. Very good. I do have a question from you from Instagram. I just saw it in my show notes. From Marigold Petals. They want to know, could we apply for an internship that isn't local for business aspects? What do you think?
I'm open to that. So it's something that I hadn't done. So, but I could quickly wrap my mind around that. There's going to be some housing aspect to consider, but I am down for it.
Awesome. All right. We made a connection. Let us know how it goes.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. Let me bring on Gina. Hey there.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi, everyone.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually here at Mayesh Brannan Street. That's at the San Francisco Flower Mart. A shout out to them. They are allowing me to use their conference room. And when we're done with the show, I'm going to go pick up my flowers downstairs. So
awesome.
I'm very, very excited. Got a lot going on this week. So Mayesh always takes good care of me.
Awesome.
Hi, Allison.
So glad to hear that.
Hi, Christina.
I know. I love saying hi to everyone, right? It's so fun. And hi to the people watching overseas, apparently. I saw someone from England. So, and I'm sure there's a few other from, we get them occasionally from all different countries. I love it. So, Gina, going back to the book Black Flora, what does it mean for you to have this spotlight in this book?
If someone had told me that I was going to be, in a book, if someone told me this a year ago, I would have said, what are you talking about? I mean, Teresa Terry, has been, I can't thank you enough. I mean, we all have a story to tell, and this book gave me an opportunity to tell my story, because a lot of times I felt I've been in the industry a long time, but sometimes you don't have a voice. And Terry was catalyst for me to share my voice. And I'm so grateful and I'm so blessed by her kindness, her thoughtfulness, the way she worded my story in the book. It makes me feel good. And I can show other brown girls out there that it's never too late. It's you can live your dream. Just because you dream something and it's not happening today doesn't mean it's not going to happen in the future. And I'm a prime example of that. And I'm still kind of overwhelmed and joyful with the book. And when I received the book the other day, and I looked at the cover, and I was so emotional I started crying, and then I started going through the pages, and it was wonderful to see people like me, and to see that, wow, I'm the only Black floral designer from Northern California. California is a big state. And for me to be featured in something like this and to be on the same level as other designers, like Kiara, like Isha, like Braun, the flower guy. I mean, to me, I've always looked up to them. And so it's just an honor.
Yeah, I love it. You touched a little bit about kind of your journey, right? Getting to where you are. And you definitely had an interesting journey as well, from what I read. Can you share more about your flower story and how you came to be where you are right now?
Well, my flower story, it actually started with my mom and my aunt. They were garden people, they were flower people. And back in the day, my mom would forage. We would like go to nurseries and stuff like that. And if she saw a cutting or something that broke off a plant on the ground, she would pick it up and take it home and root it, and then it'd be she could root roses. I don't know how you root a rose, but she was able to do it. And so growing up, I remember the backyard always had something inside. There was always house plants. There was always roses. There was always a huge garden where she growed a lot of things, and the same with my aunt. And it just, I looked at that, but everything was put on pause. Went to college, got married, had a son. I was in corporate banking for a long time. Went into state finance. And in the meantime, flowers were just kind of like put on hold. I had house plants. I loved orchids and stuff like that. And then around 2008, I became a wedding planner. And the reason why I became a wedding planner was because I wanted to design. It really wasn't about, the logistics and all that. And I was successful at it. And I did that for about 10, 11 years. But back in 2014, both my aunt and my mom passed away within 3 weeks of each other. And it was very devastating. And I started to reevaluate my life. And so I'm talking to a colleague of mine who was a florist, and she said that she was teaching flower courses at the local community college, and she told me that I had an eye just based on, designs, and the combination of working with brides who were DIYing their flowers, winding up at the end of the day at the event, I would be doing the course. So I took the courses, and it just opened up a whole new world for me. And then I was a hybrid, a wedding planner and a floral designer for 2 years. That was from 2017 to 2019. And by October 2019, I made the decision just to do floral design. And the rest is history. So that's how I got started in flowers.
I love hearing everyone's story just because it is so unique and so different. And again, when you're not starting out and you decide to change and kind of be brave, it's special. And I want to make sure that people hear that and, get inspired by it.
Exactly. It's never too late. I mean, I didn't start when I was like 20 years old doing flowers. And so part of me feels like I have to play catch up, but, I've let that go. And the thing was, I went to the Slow Flowers Summit last year at Filoli, and I met Abra Lee, and she has a great presentation on the history of Black florists. And I went to the conference just to hear her. I'd never heard of her before, but as soon as I saw, she was in the lineup and I read what she was going to be presenting, I went. And after her presentation, I had an opportunity to sit down with her, and she held my hand and she told me that I have a legacy to stand on. Mm-hmm. And that lifted the weight off my shoulders. And I was like, wow, I do. And then I got connected with Black Girl Florists, and the rest is history. I'm finding more and more Black florists out there. And, I don't question my designs anymore. I don't question me. I am who I am. And if you don't want to work with me, that's fine. There's plenty other people out there. I'm not saying that I won't accommodate a client or a couple, but my designs are for a particular type of client.
Right. Exactly. I wanted to share with you from Love. She says, I am 42 and this is exactly where I'm at. I started exactly a month ago today, and my life has been in full bloom ever since. Awesome. Welcome to the floral world, Love. Let me see. I have so many comments on here. Let's see. Let's see. Tonga says, floral design is an amazing and often fulfilling art. Those who are able to be part of this arena are very special. I agree. Gina, in the book too, you talk about African Americans having fear or hesitation to attach their likeness to their business. When did you decide not to hide? And are you seeing this change in the floral world?
Well, because when I was in corporate and then I was in state finance, it always seemed like I was the only one. I remember in college, I was the only one. It always seemed like anywhere I went, I was the only one. And I went through imposter syndrome, and if no one knows what that is, that's not being true and authentic to yourself, and you're trying to be like someone else. And, society was dictating how I should act, how I should look, how I should walk, where I should go. And there had always been discussions when I was a wedding planner. I would talk to other wedding planners and social media groups. It was always this debate. Do we let people know who we are? behind the business. And I remember one time there was this photographer. I asked them how they were successful in their business, and they said what I needed to do, and I have to be very blunt at what they said. They said I'd have to have a white person fronting the business, and that was very traumatizing. And so I just kind of went into a shell. But 2 years ago, with the pandemic and with the social injustices that were happening in this country, I had some discussions with some core people, and they told me, "You're a beautiful person, and you have a lot to offer, and also you're creating a legacy, and so you should show your face." And I do. I show my face everywhere.
Yep.
And as I say, don't let the smooth taste fool you.
I just think that's incredibly powerful and so important, and a really amazing message to just be putting out into the universe. So I hope everyone hears that and feels it and kind of, thinks about that a little bit there. There's so many people that haven't had to be like, do I need to hide who I am, or do I need to put some other type of person in front of the audience to capture those clients that I'm really wanting to get. So I just, I appreciate you sharing that with us. I just think it's really important, and thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I unplugged myself there for a second. Sorry about that.
And before you go on, I want to give a shout out to, well, of course, Allison Ellis. I mean, she taught me the business side of flower math. So that's amazing. And a huge shout out to Christina Barragan. She's the one who believed in me before I believed in me. And I'm not plugging, what she does, but she was definitely a catalyst and helped me be where I am today.
Yeah. Both of those ladies are amazing ladies, guys. So, I'll plug them. I work with them all the time. Allison's been on here a bunch of times. Christina and we've been on here a bunch of times. We've done just they're really good people and passionate and love to help educate. And we need people like that, There's some people that want to do, and there are some people that want to teach, and we need both. That's for sure. Awesome. Let me see if I can bring all of you guys onto Instagram. And I'm sorry, this isn't the best look for you all, but here we are. There. Because after watching all the little tiny pictures on the bottom, it's nice to see everyone's big faces. So guys, what else do you want to share? We're kind of wrapping up. I'm so proud of us too. We're almost 53 minutes here. Anything else you guys want to share before we close out the show?
I guess I would say I have heard we like different kinds of floral design or certain styles. It's okay to have a lot of different styles. You know what I mean? We are not one thing. So, if you like a certain specific thing, it's okay to do that. If you don't like something that's trendy, it's okay to do that too. I think the time has come for everybody to just do the thing that they love and find the audience who loves that too. I think that is how you can be more successful.
Absolutely. Anyone else?
I'd say, for anyone out there who's just starting, be true and authentic with yourself. Live with integrity. Your business, have integrity, and just be persistent. And step out on faith, and it's going to happen. And just remember, it doesn't happen overnight. Go get education. If you have to freelance with someone, go freelance with someone, but never stop learning. Because, there's some people out there that feel that they know everything. Everybody doesn't know everything,
Nobody.
nobody.
Absolutely not.
I mean, you keep learning until the day that you leave this planet. So, yeah, that's my advice. Just ask questions, find a mentor, find a coach, go to conferences. If you can't do that, I mean, go on YouTube, look at things. Remember, there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of styles, and you'll figure out the direction that you're supposed to be in.
Very good.
Can I
Terry, how
say
about
one?
you?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can. Yes.
Okay, great. I want to say this is just a little tidbit that I've been thinking about all week. When we think about the Garden of Eden, diversity started there. So no matter what age we are, no matter what race we are, no matter our gender, just do it. No, when I think about my reinvention, not retirement, I am dreaming of what am I going to grow this year? Where am I going to sell it? I've got 3 little shops that are like, when you get started, let us know. I am very seasoned, but that's not stopping me. In our community garden, I am going to teach the youngsters how to grow cut flowers. I want to teach, oops.
You're here.
Okay. I want to teach young people how to grow cut flowers. And the reason why, who else is going to teach them? If they want a bouquet, they can make a bouquet. Why not grow that bouquet? It might enlighten them to, this could be a career move. This could be my entry into horticulture. That is my message. That is what I want to do. And in showing them as young Black girls and young Black boys that this is possible, that's my legacy. That is my gift to my community and hopefully to the world. Just do it.
I love it. I love it. And I hope to see more of that. I just think across the country is working with young people and showing them the beauty and wonder of what you guys do, and how important it is in everyone's lives, whether they realize it or not. I think sometimes we're missing that piece of it. And so I think that is amazing. And all of you guys are amazing ladies. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I really appreciate your time and just sharing your passion with us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And thank you, Terry.
Oh, thank you to everybody.
Yes. Yes. Thank you guys. And thank you to Kiara. If you guys are listening to the podcast and aren't seeing the comments later for the replay, she had to leave a little bit early, but we appreciate her time, along with you, Terry, Isha, and Gina. Thank you so much, guys. And that's a wrap for today's show. If you want more information, again, you got to grab that book, guys. And let me put that link in there one more time so that way you guys can get a copy of Black Flora. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. I can't wait to get my copy. I'm going to order one too. And again, I'm going to be selecting 2 people to win a free copy. I will be messaging you guys sometime later today. And that's it. I'll be back live, I think, in about a couple weeks. And with our new design star, you guys got to stay tuned. And it's a surprise. I will see you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.